Welcome to the Sport and Society Squad Pod, aka the SASS. Each week, we bring you 3 sport or society stories to break down and give you our sassiest takes. With those sassy takes, we do want to give you a content warning that some of the language used on the pod may be explicit. We ask that you please just be mindful of where you are listening and who you are listening with. With that, let's get into it. I'm here with my co-hosts Wahida and Chelsea. How we doing, ladies?
Hi.
Hi, just like living.
Not laughing or loving.
Yeah, laughing and loving's a little low this week, but that's just me, I guess.
I think that's a lot of people this week, Chelsea, to be honest.
I'm glad I'm
But
not
I would
alone.
say love on yours, okay?
Yeah, love.
We don't have to
I'll
love
tell
what's
you guys
happening.
what I'm loving in the highlight. I'll be honest with you, and y'all know which one it is. Anyways, before we get into the playbook for what we're going to cover today, I just want to go through a quick highlights moment. So just for, everyone's FYI, the listeners, if you're new here, I don't know, this is just a spot where we'll cover a few sport and society highlights from this past week, so you feel like you're in the know with all things happening in the sports and pop culture world. So these are some these are some highlights that we will be breaking down, but not in depth. Let me tell you that. But we think they're worthy to know. Jesus fucking Christ, I have the today. So we'll jump into it. We'll just jump into it. For the sport highlights, and this is news to me, everyone. In MLB news, actually this is not. In MLB news, Mariner legend Ichiro Suzuki has been named to the Hall of Fame. He was 1 vote short of a unanimous selection and will be the first Japanese-born player. I know.
Name that person. Name them. Shame.
I think they did. Did they not?
No, I don't think they have. We'll probably find out, though.
Sean and I were discussing this on our walk last night.
Oh.
But he is the first Japanese-born player inducted. I almost said induced. into the National Baseball Hall of Fame. Can you imagine? He probably would be. The Mariners will also be retiring his jersey this upcoming season. That's going to be super cool. I love that. In college football news, the Ohio State Buckeyes beat Notre Dame to win the CFP National Champion College Football Playoff Champion. What?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
College Football Playoff National Champion. That's what they call it.
Well, it's this. Yes. It's the CF. Yeah.
That's crazy. Sounds like you're gonna.
Well, they don't say that
taken care of.
They don't say the
ever say it full.
CF.
That's why it's
out loud. Yeah. That's an acronym.
I understand why.
But Ohio State's having a year. I think they have they also won the gymnastics championship and another one too. They're just breaking it in.
They're just.
They can't lose.
Well,
they did not.
They didn't. This is a fun one. And then there were 4. What? In the NFL news, the Buffalo Bills and Kansas City Chiefs will face off this Sunday for the NFL AFC Conference Championship, and the Eagles and the Commanders will play. What?
For the NFC Conference Championship.
It says the Eagles and the Commanders will play Eagles for the NFC Conference Championship.
To be fair, I was real tired when I wrote that.
Breaking barriers here.
She's making a prediction too that the Eagles are winning.
That's what you wanted last year.
Yes.
That's what I wanted this year. But I die because it's Champ Chons. It's not Champ Chon. That's what I spelled.
All right, just because you can't speak this morning doesn't mean you have to make fun of my writing.
I know, it's fake news. Anyway. Oh, they're just kidding. And that makes Wahida the only team still in the running for the Super Bowl. So that's what you're saying. You're the only one who made a prediction that's here.
Yeah.
And based off of no football,
Joe.
Based off of no football relation or anything.
I can't wait to see what happens next year at this time. In NBA news, Anthony Edwards reached 8,000 career points last week, and he becomes the third youngest player in NBA history to reach that feat. The other 2, LeBron James and Kevin Durant. Go off, boys.
Big names.
Speaking of LeBron James, his business partner, Maverick Carter, is reportedly leading a group of investors aiming to raise $5 billion to establish an international basketball league to rival the NBA. What?
Yeah.
That's wild. Obviously
there
did not hear
are, I
that.
feel like, international basketball leagues, like the Euro League rivals it pretty well, but I guess they want to do their own.
Honestly, if it brings back a little competition,
give us a better product, we'll be all for it.
They were just jealous that the women have been getting on these news with Unrivaled and all the stuff they've been launching. So they're like, let's
Unrivaled
launch a global one.
Let's go global. Globo Gym. The Miami Heat and Conor McGregor are being sued over an alleged sexual assault at a 2023 NBA Finals game, per the New York Post. This lawsuit accuses McGregor of battery in the arena with gross negligence in keeping a safe atmosphere by continuing to serve the boxer alcoholic beverages after he was allegedly intoxicated. That's a yikes.
Yeah, big yikes. That's probably why Jimmy wants to get the F out of there.
I
wouldn't
blame. That's absurd. Okay. In NFL news, Seattle Seahawks Jackson Smith, help me out,
Njigba
has been named the ESPN NFL Fantasy Football Breakout Player of the Year. Seriously.
Yeah.
My God.
Seriously.
Way to go, Jackson.
Noting that for next year.
Oh,
gotta get him on my team.
Whoa, okay. And in the book AJ Brown was reading on the bench last week's game is up to... What'd you say?
You're like AJ Braun.
Did I say AJ Braun? AJ Brown. Whatever, however you want to say it. But the book that he was reading last week on the bench is up over 53 million% on Amazon. The book is titled Inner Excellence, Train Your Mind for an Extraordinary Performance in the Best Possible Life. If you want to add it to your TBR, I honestly saw this for a second and I thought it was going to say How to Train Your Dragon. And I am upset.
I mean, not going to lie, I put that book on my to read pile after that. I was like, okay. Like he reads it. It's like he reads it every game and all the time, like when he needs like a mental reset. So at first people were like, oh, he's like just reading on the sidelines, like not engaged.
Trying to be like mysterious.
But really it's like a tool that he uses to help like ground him and like a mental reset.
Affirmation.
And get him back in the game.
How many pages?
I don't do pages. I do like book size. Like, show me the book. I don't care about.
I need to know a page, but I don't know.
Apparently, I'm obsessed with numbers. Making a real fun transition here. We're going into society highlights. Bowen Yang and Rachel Sennott will host this year's Oscar nomination ceremony taking place this Thursday. So it was supposed to originally be last Friday. They switched it to this Thursday, which is literally tomorrow. I cannot wait. Abbott Elementary has been... Oh, it's today. Abbott Elementary has been renewed for season 5. Snaps. We love. Tom Holland will play the lead in The Odyssey by Christopher Nolan. It will be his next film. It's also, he's joining like a huge cast. Like, I'm pretty sure like Matt Damon. Is Zendaya also? There's whole list. No, I'm not kidding you. Like, it's...
I'm not surprised. I mean, The Odyssey and Christopher Nolan, those aren't like, small stories. So I'm not surprised that they have a huge A-list cast.
Yeah.
You know what?
Has The Odyssey been
I'd be surprised if they
before?
didn't have an A-list cast.
Yeah, especially
this is... I can't look at this right now, but yeah, I've just been saying name after name. So, congrats to them.
For that.
Running Point, the new comedy series from Mindy Kaling and starring Kate Hudson and Brenda Song, is hitting Netflix globally on February 27th. Okay.
You guys, I'm so excited about this show. I feel like it aligns really well with what we're doing here. But can I read you the synopsis?
Please.
Yeah.
If you guys haven't heard it yet. Okay, so Running Point. When a scandal forces her brother to resign, Isla Gordon is appointed president of the Los Angeles Waves. Sound familiar? One of the most storied professional basketball franchises, and her family business. Ambitious and often overlooked, Isla will have to prove to her skeptical brothers, the board, and the larger sports community that she was the right choice for the job, especially in the unpredictable male-dominated world of sports.
Ooh.
And I think it's supposed
That's
to
cool.
mirror Jenny Buss's, or Jenny, whoever currently owns and runs the LA Lakers. It's supposed to be kind of a soft retelling of her story, but in a
So
comedic
that's
way.
the understory I did not know about.
That's fun.
Excited about it.
Song in that?
I think like her chief something, so like her right-hand woman.
I love it.
Yeah, love it. Love this Brenda song renaissance or revival too.
Yeah.
Yes.
She deserves it.
Love it. Yeah.
Revival stream by
Revival.
Let's see. Tracy Chapman's Fast Car, great song, has now surpassed 1 billion streams on Spotify. It's her first song to reach this milestone. That's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
That's
it was
huge.
Classic song.
Who was the person that redid
Luke
it?
Combs.
And
And then he brought her up
You
to
got
perform with
fast
him at
Yeah,
one of the
at the
awards.
Grammys.
And then
I
that's
think that's
what
where it kicked it back
the
up.
resurgence came back, and they're like, "Oh yeah, Tracy Chapman is amazing."
I F with that song. In more
100%.
music news, JoJo's new EP titled NGL, not gonna lie,
Not
drops
gonna
on
lie.
January 24th. Holy crap, it's this Friday. It's set to be a return to pop music, and her tour is, so we're going to her tour. It starts
Yeah.
next month.
I have a ticket. I
starts?
have an extra ticket.
Okay,
Wow,
I'm
You have
ready.
one extra ticket. Are
I have
Chelsea
one
and I
every-
supposed
I
to
bought-
fight for it?
Yeah.
all
You guys
right.
have to. We're gonna
Check
do
the
JoJo
check TikTok
trivia
later this
and
week.
whoever.
Oh no! Wait, can we do sports trivia? Not pop culture trivia. We'll do 2 rounds. We'll do a sports.
We'll do JoJo
No,
trivia.
we're doing
How's that?
JoJo trivia.
Okay, well Chelsea wins. She gets the ticket.
Was an OG
Oh, but y'all,
JoJo.
okay. If that just doesn't tell you, I'm very excited. Obviously, that's my girl. So I'm hype. I'm hype.
When is she coming?
That's actually a great
In March.
question.
She's coming in March.
Do you know what day?
Do we know what day?
I think the 8th, March 8th.
Oh,
Okay, I might be in town.
So
Yeah, I
here's
might
the
not be
thing. I
around.
bought 2. Flo and JoJo announced that they were going on tour at the same time, not together, but they announced that they were selling tickets the same day. So I bought 2 tickets to 2 different concerts on the same day, and I forget when they happened.
because they're
Stunning.
coming. They're happening kind of similar times.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll have to
Okay.
double check. I'll get back to you.
Anyone
And-
else? I'm curious to see if like our listeners too, who's like hyped in going to the JoJo.
To the JoJo.
To the
Drop your
JoJo.
JoJo love in the comment.
JoJo.
In the
I have a
comment. not even
question.
comment. Say it.
Who would you be hyped to go see? Because we know Chelsea's never gonna miss a Taylor Swift concert. I'm never gonna miss a JoJo
Also
concert.
an Ariana Grande. Sorry, and
Yeah,
Mariah
yeah.
Carey.
Yeah. But
my
I would
big
be
three.
curious to hear who our listeners are super fans of.
You're
Let us
asking the
know.
listeners. Might be, let us
Yeah.
know.
Let us know. Don't
Are you
ask us.
embarrassing?
People are
Harrison will be
usually
at Teddy
responsive.
Swims.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I'm not usually the instigator for buying the concert tickets. It's usually someone else saying like, "Let's
Oh.
I
go
don't know.
here."
I heard you went to an Usher concert.
I know, but I wasn't the
She didn't
instigator on
buy
that. I
those.
got
Sorry, yeah, you were invited.
I got the
Those
free
were
ticket.
gifted.
Yeah, just these really wildly expensive, beautiful tickets. They
Where
say
I
keep
touched
the girl in
Usher's-
the audience.
Touched Asher's hand. Yeah.
Okay, I will round up our highlights with arguably my favorite highlight of the year. A little early to say, but for our book lovers, the 3rd book in the Empyrean series by Rebecca Yarros was released on January 21st. So I know I'll be busy with that this weekend. If you know, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I'm
that's the
excited.
highlights.
I reread Fourth Wing and oh my god, what's the second one?
Reread.
Iron Flame.
500
Iron
Flame.
Flame.
Wow.
Well, because I read them when they first, I don't know, was it 2023 or something?
2023 and then 2020.
2023.
Was it 2023, both of them? No.
No, I think maybe beginning of 2024. Anyways, I read them over a year ago. And so then over the Christmas
how-
break, I reread them.
How would
Spit
you
it out.
describe this book? What?
Oh,
That's exactly how I describe it, to be honest.
No, for general listeners, myself, who are not familiar with this book, I feel like maybe I'm the only one. But like, what is the general synopsis of this like whole universe or this story?
Dragons, war college, fantasy romance.
War college?
Yeah.
What's a war college?
A college.
Like where they learn how to go to war?
Well,
yes.
That's a perfect segue. Wouldn't you like to know? You can read all about it in the first book, Fourth Wing by Ray. Available on Kindle in your Amazon store today.
No, your local bookstore.
My bad.
Local bookstore.
Buy mine from there. It's true.
It's true.
All right.
I put my hold on the library. I was like, you know what?
So that means Arisan won't read it for another year because I feel like it's going to be on hold for a long time.
Well, fine. I put a notification for as soon as it's available to be put on the hold list. So
I've got 2 copies. That's how insane I am. And so if we do finish one in this household, it will be yours.
Down. All right. We might have to do a debrief on this book.
Yes.
And I'll just learn about it.
Absolutely.
Well, I'd like you to read it. Anyways, that's it for the highlights.
Anyway.
I said we weren't going in depth, and we fucking put it.
Well, thank you, Chelsea. Thank you, Chelsea, for this huddle. It was amazing. But let's get into this playbook, shall we? So we'll start today by discussing all the latest on the drama with Bachelor star Matt James and his now ex-fiancée. Didn't even know they were engaged. Rachel
Don't even know
Kirkconnell.
these people.
Oh, and that's because they weren't.
Oh,
on me.
All right, so she clearly has all the facts, so she's gonna get us through that story. And then
my goodness.
I will go ahead and take us through all the latest on the ASAP Rocky, or as we like to
Rocky.
Yes, ASAP Rocky and his legal scandal. And then lastly, we'll finish with a recap of current standings in women's college basketball. With that, I'm going to kick it back over to Chelsea so she can give us all the facts on this Matt James story.
We're like a really factual podcast, clearly.
We would like to be known for it eventually.
One day, and maybe they'll give us a word for best giggles instead. I don't know, but I can't believe I'm still fucking talking. I guess I am excited. I am excited to talk to both of you about this story, though, for real. Like, just baseline, what do you guys really know much about it?
I know who they are.
I didn't know who they were up until you said you wanted to do a story, and I Googled them.
Okay.
I had no idea about their existence.
Okay. I'm going to try to make this one quick because I feel like it's a pretty new story still. Okay. But if you don't know, now you will, both of you. Matt James, he's a pretty popular content creator. I actually really enjoy his content creating. I have used it for some trips, I'm not going to lie. But he's best known for being the first male African-American lead for The Bachelor. So that's kind of like what skyrocketed him. I also saw that he played like football, college football, and that was kind of like a thing for him and one of the other guys who was on The Bachelor at one point too. But again, I wouldn't really say, because I'm not like a football girly, that like that's how he got on my radar. He was definitely The Bachelor. So some backstory.
A lot of people's radar. I think Bachelor was
for a lot of ladies, maybe, yes. Maybe some guys too. But for some backstory, Matt James actually was, and I didn't know this, was originally cast to be a contestant for The Bachelorette, starring Claire Crawley. So it was her season. But then filming for that got delayed because of the pandemic. And he was then actually later selected to be The Bachelor on the next season.
I think it was because he's friends with Tyler. And
yes, that's the other guy.
He like rose through the social media ranks because of his affiliation with Tyler, who was on The Bachelor.
Right. And I was trying not to get too deep into this, but like what I read was that Tyler's mom, I think, was maybe sick and passing away, and she nominated Matt, and then she passed away. They picked him. So I think there's a lot of like layers to that, but I like this story instead that I'm creating, that he just like finessed it, you know, like, but whatever, you know, there's a lot going on there in Bachelor world. So he was The Bachelor. The season concluded with him choosing to pursue a relationship with 24-year-old graphic designer Rachel Kirkconnell. So notably, he didn't end with a proposal, which I think from an outsider's perspective, pretty normal. Well, I known him like 10 weeks. For The Bachelor, though, you are going in with one purpose and one purpose only, which is to get engaged. So some people were like, wait, what? And like upset about that because it didn't follow, the kind of format that they do.
Question.
Say it, ask it.
What year was this?
2021.
Okay.
Mhm.
So it was semi-recently. Okay.
Kind of recently.
2021 season.
Feels like ages ago, though.
It feels like a different lifetime ago.
I mean, technically
Right.
it was 4 years ago. Whole other.
Yeah. The first kind of drama, though, that I will touch on for us is, I guess, because I wasn't watching at the time. I just knew what was happening. I knew who he was. Like, if you look at him, you'll know why.
Yeah, he's pretty attractive.
He's very, very attractive. But apparently, while the season was unraveling, there were things coming out about Rachel on social media. So one TikTok user allegedly accused her of being racist in high school. Another thing that came to light was like some of her social media interactions. So she had liked photos that showed people smiling in front of the Confederate flag. And it also was revealed that she attended an antebellum themed fraternity party in 2018. So again, we all make mistakes and things happen. Just was a little interesting. Also, maybe with the first African American Black male contestant. So, interesting. So that
generally, but yes, especially because of that.
Generally, but especially because of that,
Yeah.
especially the spotlight and everything going on with it. Like, let's highlight it more, I guess. So this obviously caused issues between them. And the season ended with Matt saying he needed space from her. But by the time all of this wrapped up, they were back together. So they have been together since that point in time until apparently last week, which is 4 years. So again, after in this 4 years, of course he had to go on a star in Dancing with the Stars. Of course he was a contestant on that. And like I said, he really grew his following, and they did a lot of travel and food content together. So it wasn't just his own profile, it was her too. And there's just been a lot of content where people are like, when are you getting married? Are you getting engaged? All of this stuff. You're on The Bachelor, you've been together 4 years. I'm not making a comment on that. Do whatever you want. Your timeline's your own timeline, but the comments were filled with this, okay? All of that came to a halt, though, last week when Matt seemingly posted a very vague photo of him and Rachel. It's the photo of them when they first met each other on The Bachelor, and he captioned it this. And I'm just going to read the caption. Father God, give Rachel and I strength to mend our broken hearts. Give us peace about this decision to end our relationship that transcends worldly understanding. Shower our friends and family with kindness and love to comfort us, and remind us that our joy comes from you, Lord. Out of nowhere. Just posted that comments off.
It was a post? A static
it was a post.
Or,
Yeah, on his grid, on his Instagram. And it took fans by surprise because he had been posting traveling content up until that point of them in London. It had seemed like they were in London that whole week, and then he had posted content, and then that came out, and people were like, did they break up in the middle of their trip? This sent people into just a total frenzy. And if you go to her profile, the last thing she had posted, static, was this really cute compilation happy birthday post to him of a minute and a half, all the cute things that they've done together. So at this point, I'm not going too much farther into it because neither of them have really said anything. It's been just radio silence the rest of the week. No, he's not posting traveling content. She's not posting anything. The only things that have allegedly happened in this period of time is that, one, apparently she's been liking comments made by fans that fans are saying it's making me feel like she was blindsided. Apparently she's been liking some of those. So whether it was blindsided that they broke up or blindsided by the post in general, still up for debate. And then also apparently her sister has chimed in saying that he posted that photo and caption only 3 hours after the breakup. So people were like, he was crashing out about it and was just beep.
Well, the quote,
and he broke up with her.
I feel like the quote kind
know.
of implies that he was crashing out a little bit if you're posting that.
It kind of
world.
is.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm curious, we don't have details, but like what questions do you have? Immediate reactions, like who do you think broke up with who?
Honestly, we know
Are you
too much
gonna-
about these people.
I was gonna
We
say,
don't
I
need to know.
don't,
true.
I don't care. Like it feels like,
Wow. Okay.
Like, I mean,
respectfully, I don't know.
yeah, I was just
I've
gonna
never
say
been a
like,
big Bachelor person or Bachelorette.
I was just
And
gonna say
so,
like,
yeah.
they are in a relationship, and there are a few different routes that a relationship could go. Like, they were either gonna, be end game and get married. They might still be, who knows? Because all of this is speculative. We don't have any actual clue. They didn't confirm it in any kind of way. Or they break up, and that's just kind of the natural course sometimes, like for some relationships. Yeah.
That's life.
So I feel like, I don't know, we know too much information about them. I will say I did really appreciate their travel content and their food content.
Yeah.
I really appreciated that. So I will be sad that we won't get any more of that. Of them together. I think Matt has always done food. Like, he had a nonprofit or something that like was related to food in some way. Like, I don't even know. We have to look it up. I don't remember.
I believe you. No,
I believe it has something to do with food. But yeah, I think we know too much about these people.
But don't act like we know too much because we just like we're searching for it. Like, this has been the whole thing. Like, they're a public relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what? That also makes me wonder, like, okay, you're a public relationship. You make your relationship public. And then when circumstances like this come up, we get it's not our business, but you brought us into your relationship as like spectators, right? You got to close the loop for us,
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that I feel any personal type of way.
Yeah. I don't think are we entitled immediately to know, but like maybe close it in like a year if you could.
Yeah.
Like most TV shows do that for us. So
I always think it's really interesting when people right after go onto their Instagram and like post things like that. That I feel like, if anything, is more telling of character and maybe the relationship, if that's like the way that they end. I mean, that's similar with, was it Brianna Chicken Fry and Zach Bryan, of how he did that, and then finding out after how like kind of like the abusive kind of boyfriend he is and controlling and stuff.
Yeah,
and then he's the one that's trying to control the narrative. So like it's. When that stuff happens, I'm always like,
that's a good point.
It's true.
Are you trying to control the narrative? Like, I'm not saying you're not hurt. I'm not saying like I'm not like dissing what you posted or your quote, but I'm just like, really? Are you trying to control the narrative because other things are going to come out, or like, who's to say? I mean, and also it just makes me realize I am so thankful that I'm not in the public eye like they are, because when you hate every part of your relationship being looked at and like every single post and thing analyzed, like it's crazy.
Also feeling
to
like
me.
You have to curate for the narrative.
Oh my God.
But it's crazy to me that there's fans out there that like go through the comments. Like, there's so many like social creators that, I mean, I guess technically we are those people right now.
It's fucking us right now, yeah.
But like Instagram videos and stuff about like this breakup, and like going through and reading and analyzing all the comments, like it's wild to me that people care that much.
I feel
about
like
strangers.
With that being said,
but you could say that about sports too. Like that's the whole argument. You could say like, they're providing an entertainment to us, and yes, I really like it, and it's more traditional in our society.
I hate that you make that point because it makes sense, and I've never thought about it like that. I don't like that. Yeah, I do, but I understand. I hear you.
I'm not like, oh my God, but I'm like,
yeah, okay.
Some people are just not interested in the other parts.
You're fair.
Harrison, to your point, though, I feel like in a few days we might have the full story because of those investigators, right? Like those online detectives, that love the Bachelor Nation and love Matt James and love their relationship. They're going to find out, and we're going to find out from them.
Through them.
Like, I guarantee. Like, we're going to find out.
What is it? Something. Touche. Don't hate the player, hate the game. Like, I don't know. That's what it feels like. That's like my beat.
Well, I'm shitting on sports constantly. It's fine.
Wow.
So I guess we'll learn more. We'll go from there. Maybe not air Sam, but mojito.
No. You'll just tell me,
We'll
and
bring
then I'll
Arison up to speed. Yep.
I'll be invested in these people that I didn't know about a week ago. Which is
But
like,
watch in 6 months, you'll be like, what happened to Matt? Like, what happened? Like, it might creep back
He's
in
single now.
your wildest times.
He's single now. I don't know, though. He seems a little, I don't know. I want that in my
but
life.
From one scandal to another.
Okay.
Yeah.
ASAP Rocky. Let's talk
Yeah.
ASAP Rocky. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
As we know, I think he's had an incredible few years lately, right? Booed up with Queen Ree. We love her. So he's a lucky man for that. And then 2 beautiful kids. Seems great and all, but I feel like things are getting, I don't know, maybe a little rocky in his world.
Oh, look at you.
What?
So let me break it down. So
oh my God,
he is currently being charged with 2 felony counts of assault with semi-automatic firearm. The charges stem from it was a gun. He's being charged for an assault with a gun.
Yikes. Okay.
Yeah, big one. So the charges stem from in November 2021. So this was 4 years ago, around the same time Matt and Rachel were happening. 2021 was a wild year because we were all coming back from
it was a wild
2020.
Year.
It was a wild year. So the incident allegedly happened in Hollywood where ASAP Rocky allegedly fired a gun at former friend and fellow ASAP mob member Terrell Efron, also known as ASAP Relly. So there's a lot of ASAP. A lot of get them
and
whatever
is mob
they need.
What they call themselves?
Yeah. Get them whatever they need as soon as possible. Okay.
Yeah. Give me that reddish fast.
Well, so ASAP Relly, his attorney is Camille Vasquez. And if that name doesn't sound familiar to you, I feel like it should. She was the attorney who gained worldwide fame from representing Johnny Depp in his defamation case against Amber Heard.
And she's also working with Justin Baldoni. Like,
wait, that's a lawyer or PR?
A lawyer.
Maybe it's
she's a lawyer. She was the one in the courtroom.
Yeah, yeah, because it was the PR person that's the same. Sorry.
Yeah, a lot of connections in Hollywood. Not surprised by that at all. But if ASAP Rocky, if he had pled guilty to count 1, they would have asked that he received 180 days in county jail and then 3 years of probation and a 7-year suspended prison sentence. So it's still a lot happening, but it's not as much as if he had not pled guilty. So he decided to decline the plea deal in this case, and now is proceeding with the trial. And the jury selection just happened this past week, and it feels like that is kind of interesting at the moment because his attorney, Joe Tacopina, or Topo Chico, as they call him, tried to explore the potential jurors' feelings about hip-hop artists and their music, and several said they had negative feelings, although not overwhelmingly. So, like, it's mostly about, like, parenting, like his parenting for some reason, which I feel like we've seen in the media is that he's a really good parent to his kids, but that's bias comes in play. That's why jury selection goes through all the rounds of questioning. And then one man was also excused early in the process because he said his anti-gun feelings were too strong. And this, would
have taken me out.
Yeah, would have taken, So they took him out of the equation because, it's a case that has to do with a firearm. So the trial is on its way to happening. It's likely to be scheduled and go on for 3 weeks. So we'll know, I guess, the conclusion of this trial within the month.
Really? That soon?
Yeah. But if ASAP Rocky is convicted, on all of his charges, he faces up to 24 years in prison. So remember that plea deal he was given before? It sounds really sweet compared to 24 years.
But obviously he feels like they can fight it if
if you're willing to take that kind of risk.
So I think that's what they're hoping for, because the defense plans to call witnesses to testify that the firearm seen on the security video is a starter pistol that he carries around as a prop for security reasons. So it's not a real like firearm that he uses to harm people. It's just used as a prop. And then he also mentioned because the DA is trying to sensationalize his relationship with Rihanna and just make that kind of the center of a lot of their conversation so that folks are distracted by that a little bit. So the judge or
the DA that's like on the other side,
or I'm sorry, not the defense attorney, his lawyer. So ASAP Relly's lawyer is trying to sensationalize the fact that he's in a relationship with Rihanna to kind of distract from the actual case, because Joe is suggesting that that's gonna kind of deter them from even focusing on the facts. And so he's saying that Rihanna's unlikely to be at the trial, throughout the trial, but she may be called to testify about what she does know. So we may see her in the courtroom. We might hear about her testimony, but we'll have to see. It's, again, 3 weeks, so we'll know details pretty soon. And it's wild to think because Rocky has been named, if you all recall, one of the celebrity chairs of the Met Gala in May. So I wonder if that's going to have any impact on that and how he's able to participate. Then he also has a major role in a Spike Lee movie with Denzel Washington that's supposed to be released really soon too. So
Jesus.
Those are the facts. That's what's come out so far. We'll learn more in a few weeks, I guess. But what are y'all thinking? I see faces.
You might have said this, and maybe I wasn't paying attention fully. This person, no one died, right?
No.
He just got shot at.
He got shot at.
What?
Yeah. So
are we saying this the argument for why he should go to jail?
No. I just am clarifying that this is not like a murder.
Oh,
assault.
No.
Assault with a firearm.
Did anyone get hit with the gun, or it was just like
that? I don't know.
It makes a difference whether or not someone died, in my opinion. First,
I don't think that
my impression is that yes, he did get hit, but it wasn't a fatal hit. But I don't know for sure. That's not listed in my list of facts currently.
I guess if you're walking down the street and someone gets mad at you and just says, I fucking hate you, I'm going to shoot around you just to scare you, you're going to be like, that's fine.
No, no, but I'm saying I feel like that's different of a scare
it's
assault.
It's a different charge, but you're threatening with a gun.
Yeah.
To say,
I'm not arguing. I'm not arguing charges. I just needed to clarify, if he is a murderer or not. If someone had died.
He wasn't charged with attempted murder. He was charged with assault.
I didn't think he was attempted murder. Yeah. But that also, to me, doesn't, just because he didn't try to attempt to murder, he attempted to cause some type of harm too with a gun. Yeah. And that's weird.
Wait, I'm not arguing that.
It still has to be proven, remember? Allegedly.
It's true. He could not have done that.
Yeah.
But you just said it was different for you. That's all I was like.
I think attempted murder and murder is different than assault. I'm not saying one's that assault still is good or it's okay or it justifies it. But I think murder is definitely different than...
It's different for sure, yeah. But I just depending on...
Not funny. None of this is funny. Murder is
not funny. It's not funny.
Same. That's where I'm at.
Well, that's where I'm I don't know. Was it intentionally to end someone's life, then
to harm
intentionally
him
to harm or to scare him or... whatever,
similar to the Meg the Stallion and Tory Lanez case, right? Did he shoot at her to harm her? Did he shoot at her to scare her?
And even then,
he shot her. Yeah. I'm curious to see where this goes.
I'm not pro assault, people. I feel like I need to say this on this post. I am
what you say.
The opposite of that.
Apparently, I'm just taking you out this
Jesus
episode.
Christ.
Don't come for the pop culture girlies or guns, okay?
Don't come for the guns. What? I just feel like we need more information, and I'm not jumping to conclusions.
You know what?
And yes, I do like ASAP Rocky and Rihanna very much. So I might a little bit hope that this it didn't actually happen, and I would be sad if he had a 20-year.
Yeah,
Sentence.
especially with
So
like
fucking sad.
young kids too. But
Yeah.
honestly, if he did do it, then
Yeah.
Then
20
yeah,
years is
he's
it.
got to. I
But
agree.
you know what?
20 years
I
seems
am-
like a
I'm
lot.
saying, yeah, like that sucks. Jesus.
But you know what? I'm not surprised. I'm glad that his attorney did question the potential jury pool, I guess, about
That's
their
a
feelings
great
around hip hop,
question.
because there is so
Yeah.
much bias usually around hip hop music and it being
Yeah.
dangerous. It's not.
Yeah.
Because it started as, protest music. And so I feel like I'm like happy. I don't know if
Yeah.
that's the right word. But I'm happy that Joe went that route and like actually questioned jurors about that, because
Yeah.
that bias really could come into play.
Absolutely. And it can come into play. Well, is the jury in charge of sentencing too? Or would it be the judge? Because I feel like that could come in play where,
I don't think
depending on what happens, like his charges could
I don't
be
think the
more
I think
jury
the
severe.
is-
conviction the judge
like
should-
sentences.
okay.
dishes
Mhm.
out based on whatever that is. I think like your potential is already there. It just depends on what things you get convicted of or not.
Yeah.
I think.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
not I'm
Well,
no
we'll
legal
find out.
expert. I did juror number 2 this fall though. So
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, me too.
The only
It
thing
was
I'll
really
say
good.
about it is that like I really hope Brianna does not get pulled into it. Like if she really wasn't there, sure you could know something, I don't know. I hope it doesn't become about that, because that's
Yeah.
not the point of it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like if something did happen that, just like with the Justin Baldoni, like if something did happen in that needs to be investigated. It shouldn't be these like, well, did she know? Like,
I think what they might
did
bring her
that
in, this is an
influence
assumption.
doing it or not?
This is an assumption. I think what they might bring her in is to speak to his
Character
relationship
witness?
with ASAP Rocky. Yeah, or character witness, or both, like her
Hmm.
understanding of their relationship, because she's like the closest person to Rocky. But
Hmm.
we'll find out.
Oh, well, we'll find out. And again, I'm not pro assault. So transitioning to our next story. Felt like I was really come at for that one.
You went to trial
Sorry.
there.
I went to trial just for a clarifying question.
Someone
Just-
get me in the FBI tomorrow.
Okay. I'm going to transition to our final story, and then that is college women's basketball, which is an exciting time. Love to see it. Last year, the women's basketball set records in viewing during March Madness, more than the men's. We had the Caitlin
yeah.
Clark, Angel Reese of it all. There's a lot of cool players. So for today, I wanted to do just a brief rundown of like kind of current standings. Who's kind of the who's who? Who's who?
There's an owl
are
in the
they?
house.
Who's who in college basketball, and a little breakdown of when that March Madness craze is coming for you all.
Let me guess, March?
Yes. But March is a
Actually,
big
you're
month.
wrong. No, I'm just kidding.
It starts the season. No.
Starts
So,
tomorrow.
Chelsea, do you know anyone or anything in women's college basketball? Just not as a
College basketball. I'm pretty sure that there is. No, I don't know anything.
Okay.
So she's
I was
saying
like,
she
I just
doesn't
know that
listen
there's,
to
like,
us when we talk about it.
I know. I was getting attacked for asking a clarifying question, and we literally have had like at least one person multiple times on the highlights.
Okay, let's back up. First and foremost,
How does it feel to be
said you
attacked?
care about the story that I followed today. So if anyone was tagged first, it was me. I get to the end of mine. I don't care.
I don't.
For sure. Let's
Okay.
go.
Yeah, that's fair. I didn't say I didn't care about your story. I didn't care about your people and the story.
I'm sorry I'm making fire points this morning, but no, I don't know anything about women's basketball,
You
and I'm proud of that.
No,
You
you
do.
do. You know Juju
Wait, just-
Watkins and you
You
know
just
Paige Buckers. We say their names all the time. Juju Watkins.
To be
remember?
honest with you, I didn't know if that was pro or college.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
Okay. Anyways,
Yeah.
Well,
here's
just being honest.
here's
fair.
some just like highlights of what's been going down in the
Remember
women's
these names, Chelsea.
college basketball. One, because it's a local one. Well, let's start local.
Local.
Kelsey Plum, who is no longer in college. She is in the WNBA, so you're right. But she went to the University of Washington.
Dubs up. Woo!
Didn't she get like the most points of something or something like that?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. And this recently, the University of Washington retired Kelsey Plum's jersey, and she's the first Huskies woman basketball player to have their jersey retired. So that 10, I don't know which way, is
10.
retired. 10 is the number that is retired. And it was like, she came back, and it was really lovely to see. And so
go Huskies.
Go Pacific Northwest sports. Anyways,
as a dog, as a husky, I'm gonna say go Huskies.
I know you are, but I don't have to say it, guys. Don't put words in my mouth. Oh my god.
Okay, fine. This is Wakita, and she is saying go Huskies.
Chelsea also says go Huskies, but like here or there, you know.
Okay. Anyways,
Chelsea local legend, yes.
Also, so March Madness, Chelsea, you know March Madness. That's the big
heard of it. Yep.
Heard of it.
So everybody in the United States just goes mad. Yeah.
Everyone goes mad. Pretty much,
True.
you guys. Everyone's putting in brackets, betting on it. March is just like basketball, basketball, basketball. So this year, starting this March, women's basketball teams will be compensated for their NCAA tournament games, which is exciting because the men's have been like on that train for a while, and so finally, I mean, like we know that women's sports in general doesn't get the same level, but I think especially even last year, last year the women's basketball outperformed men's basketball and viewership in the championship. I mean, and over the years, you're seeing like the lockers and the things like the men's basketball teams get versus like the little corner, the weight room that like the crappy shit that the women's basketball get. So it's like, look, they're putting up the numbers more than the men, and like, so it's about fucking time that you're treating them as equals. So I will say
they should get more. They should get
more
back pay for whatever.
More pay. Okay.
More pay. Been talking about more
pay, back pay.
More pay. So this is a
better locker rooms.
A person to know because we love her, or I love her. Dawn Staley, who's the women's basketball coach of South Carolina. I feel like
she wear those cool jackets.
She is. Yes, she is
cool.
Always dripped
She's
out.
aura.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's always dripped out. Was that? Did I use that right?
Okay. Yeah, I've never heard of it.
I think so.
I said, "Whoa, she's young."
I was gonna say.
And now we've ruined it. Should have kept going. But anyways, she just signed a contract extension. So she coaches South Carolina, and they are the ones that won the championship last year. And I think their record was like crazy.
Undefeated, right?
Undefeated
or
last
one
season.
Loss or something?
No. Undefeated last season. Like,
holy.
And anyways, they signed an extension until 2030, the school announced, and that makes her the highest paid college women's basketball coach in history. So we're starting to see the money coming in, which is super exciting. The March. Go ahead.
Sorry. Well deserved. Dawn Staley is a freaking legend. Her trophy case is more impressive than some of the Hall of Famers that we've been talking about. So
yeah, super cool. And then
dripped out.
That's a dripped out trophy case.
Wow. But so March is happening. March Madness is happening. This year will be 68 teams. Listen. And I got this via ESPN. But they're having this year for women's college basketball they're using the quadrant-based system, which is used by the men's selection committee. So that's to measure the quality of a win or loss, which will factor into teams' chances at being selected for the 68-team bracket. So
sounds like a lot.
So that's like that. We've talked about this in football. We've talked about this in other things. Like someone might have a high win record, but we're not playing necessarily like the high quality teams. And so their win records maybe not is the fully reflective on how good they are based on the type of teams that they're playing. So then that's what's factoring in this year, which I think is
so
great.
So this shit's going to be good. Yeah.
Yeah. So it gives adds a little bit more competition. And then we're going to mark it on your calendar because we'll definitely talk about it when it happens. But Sunday, March 16th is Selection Sunday. So that's when the brackets and everything get selected for the tournament. Mark it on your calendar.
Are we doing a little
Absolutely.
between us? Okay.
We'll do a bracket. We'll do a bracket for men's and women's. Mine as well. And then we'll see what's going on. But some of the players to know, or at least to remember, Chelsea, the top kind of like
I don't see them in the notes, so this is okay.
Don't look.
Guys.
Top basketball players. One, Miss Juju Watkins.
Okay.
Who's, USC.
Juju.
She's a sophomore. Freaking killing it.
She has her top knot bun.
Yeah.
You're channeling your inner Juju Watkins right now with the top knot.
I am. Top knot. And then there's, Paige, a.k.a. Buckers, a.k.a. Buckets.
Okay.
Paige Buckets.
I remember Butker. Well, you did say it, but I
not
now...
Buckers.
Just Buckers.
Buckers. Buckers.
Like
Buckers is
bucket,
like
but Buckers.
Buckers. She's with UConn, and she's predicted to be number 1 on the WNBA draft next year.
Okay.
And they're vying for her first college championship this year.
Shit.
And then we have Hannah Hidalgo, who's with Notre Dame.
Double H.
Notre Dame's killing it this year. Then we got Kiki Irifen with USC also. And then I put this up here, because I love her, and she is a top basketball player, Flau'jae Johnson with LSU. You got to know her, right? She's got the podcast. She's a rapper. Like she's doing all the things. She's like sung with
her.
like Lil Wayne. I think I've said that in the past. She's awesome. I think she's like ranked about like top 8 player at LSU. Flau'jae, yeah. And she was LSU is the team that Angel Reese was on.
Oh, cool.
So they got star power, and also on her team, Anisha Morrow. She just got career double number 92, and that ties for the second most all time in women's Division I history. So LSU's got some star power on as well.
What grade is Flau'jae in? Like,
I'm pretty sure she's a senior, so I think she's predicted to go into the draft this year. If she's not a senior, she's projected to go into the draft this year. That's what I saw. And then as far as rankings go, this is top 10 teams as of January 19th. So we got UCLA is undefeated.
Okay.
South Carolina, which is Dawn Staley and the Gamecocks. Which is, I think, such a funny
name. They're undefeated too?
No, they're 18-1. So they've lost one. And then we got Notre Dame. What?
The game? What did you guys say? The game?
The Gamecocks?
Cox.
The Gamecocks.
Yes.
What the fuck?
They're like fighting chickens.
That's insane.
Yeah. We got Notre Dame 16-2, Southern California 17-1, LSU is 20-0. Wow. UConn is 17-2, Texas is 17-2, Maryland 16-1, TCU 19-1, Kansas State 19-1. So that you can see where those percentages come into factor.
There's a 4-game differential. Like some teams are 16. Have only played 16 or 17 games, and some teams have played 20. Wow.
Yeah. It will even out in the end.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of like the top. And then for coaches, because I feel like maybe not Chelsea, but if you've seen any like videos or the LSU coach, Kim Mulkey from LSU, she is hilarious because you'll see her in her like bright colored power suits. And she's got like, I would say almost like a Southern belle, like, Southern blonde hair.
This is who I've been thinking of the entire time.
And she's yelling real loud. She's got the Southern thing, and you just like, she's fierce. Like people will dress up for her. I've seen like some cute like little girls dressing up her as Halloween. Like she is
too afraid to show it.
Intense, and I love to watch what her outfits are because they're always just like bright. Like I would say Southern belle,
blinged out.
And then you got, obviously we talked about Dawn, and then you got Gino Ariyama with UConn, who's coaching Paige Buckets. He this year became the winningest basketball coach, and he's been around forever. He
they
beat
call him Grandpa.
Grandpa. Well,
Okay.
have the shoe fits a little bit. He's, I think, on his 40th season. Wow. I might have been making that up, but I think that sounds.
No, just say it.
I feel
just
like
say
that's
it.
right.
Just make it up.
Around there. No, I feel like that's makes a lot of sense. He's coached some high-profile players too.
Coached.
Yeah, I mean, he coached
Subert,
Diana
Taurasi. Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, that's kind of just who's who to know in women's college basketball. If you remember it, that's cool. If not, I won't be offended personally, because I don't take things offensively personally on my stories that I do. But
I feel like
it's a big accusation that you're insinuating we do, but you're the one that keeps bringing it up.
You literally said you attacked my story. Anyways, any questions or how do we feel? Facts. What are we excited about?
No, I love it. I love that women's basketball, especially at the college level, is getting the attention that it's getting. That means that I feel like when they feed into the WNBA, that's only going to get better there too.
True.
And now that the WNBA has a rival in Unrivaled, they're going to have to start stepping up their games, because the Unrivaled games are so much freaking fun, and they're so supported as players in that capacity that the WNBA can't be lollygagging like they are currently. So I think it's good for the game all around, and I'm really excited for it.
Sweet.
Yeah. And that's Chelsea's.
I'm just trying to I'm trying not to be offended, and I'm just listening. I'm listening and I'm trying to learn.
But okay. I know we also had plans to go to a March Madness tournament, right? Because they're coming to Seattle.
Yeah. And then the women's, I think.
Men's or women's?
The women's, well, yeah, they're coming to Seattle, but then I think the women's, the round before the championship or two might be in Spokane.
Field trip.
I don't know about a field trip, but potentially.
We can think about it.
But anyways, I said some of those names because, Chelsea, I think you would really get behind just like following content of the LSU coach.
Of them.
Yeah, like I feel like I mentioned those names.
That's Kim, right?
That's Kim.
That's Kim.
With Powers.
She does pop up on my feed. Yeah. I just didn't know her name, so I've given her hearts before.
Yeah, and same with like Flage with like what she's doing. Paige Buckets is like all around everywhere. So, just
I can get into it.
We can, and you don't have to enter via the basketball way. You can enter via the
I'd like to enter the
pop
podcast
culture
way.
and Dawn Staley too. Like you've seen her because she's
100%.
Or I'm gonna send you some Dawn Staley commercials. Like I feel like when she's played in the Olympics, she has so many. I'm gonna send you a bunch of clips.
Yeah,
please. Steady up, girl.
Please. Okay. Well, then I think that's a wrap for the pod today. Let us know what stories you want us to cover for next week in our comments or Instagram or TikTok at the Sport and Society Squad.
Let us know if you'd like to see me and Arisan go head-to-head in a fight for the JoJo tickets, but don't forget to hit follow and subscribe to our show on Spotify, YouTube, Apple, and turn on your notifications so you can stay up to date on all of the latest sports and society stories.
And please rate the pod while you're there. But in the meantime, stay sharp, stay sassy, and we'll catch you next time.